Now, the most expensive person in your business is not your highest paid employee, and it is not that underperformer everyone knows about but nobody really addresses. And it is not even that consultant you brought in who charged a fortune and changed nothing. The most expensive person in your business is actually you, the CEO. Not because of your salary, because of the decisions that wait for you, the meetings that cannot happen without you, the approvals that sit in your inbox while your leadership team waits, the questions that get escalated to you because nobody else has the authority or the confidence to resolve them. And every hour you spend on a decision that should have been made by someone else is an hour you're not spending on the things only you can do. Strategy, vision, the conversations that shape the future of the business. And this, my dear friends, is gap number 8 of the 15 gaps I personally identify inside leadership teams. And I call this the founder bottleneck. And I see it in almost every CEO-led business that I work with. Now, let me give you a picture for what is happening. Let's think about an elastic band. Stretch it gently and it performs beautifully. It holds things together. It does the job. That is your business in the early days. You are the elastic band. You stretch across every function, which is going to be sales, operations, finance, delivery, and you hold it all together and it works. Now, what happens when you stretch that elastic band further and further and further? At some point, you will notice the tension becomes permanent. The elastic band, is no longer stretching and returning to its natural state. It stretches permanently. The elasticity is actually gone. And here's what most people miss. The damage does not start when it snaps. It starts long before that. It starts when the tension becomes permanent. When the CEO is permanently stretched across every function, every decision, every meeting, that is when the real cost truly begins. Not just to the business, but to the person as well. Your leadership team has been stretched. The question is, are you still in the performance zone? Or have you crossed the permanent tension zone where your best people are silently preparing to snap? Busy is not a strategy. It is actually a symptom. So let me put numbers on this because the cost is much higher than most CEOs realize. Start with your own time. Now, if you are a CEO of not a large organization, but say a 10 million pound business, your blended cost to the business, including salary, benefits, and the opportunity cost of your time, is going to be roughly 200,000 pounds per year. If you are spending 25% of that time on decisions that should have been made by someone else, that is about 50,000 pounds per year in misallocated CEO time. Then add the delay cost. When decisions queue at your desk, everything downstream waits. The project needs approval, the hire that needs to be signed off, the pricing change that needs your review. Each delay has a ripple effect. And I would estimate that the delay cost would be about 120 to 180,000 pounds per year for a 10 million pound business. Then think about adding the talent cost. Your best leaders are not learning. They are not growing. They are not developing the muscle of decision making because the system never gave them that particular opportunity. And over time, your best people either are going to leave because they feel stifled, or worse, they stay and stop trying. And either way, you are going to lose. And finally, here's the cost to you personally, and that is actually the stress, the overwhelm, the inability to switch off because you know the business will stall without you. And that is actually not a lifestyle issue, that is a system failure. And I share something with every leadership team I work with, and it always gets a strong reaction. So here's the thing. Take a koi fish. If you put a koi fish in a fish bowl, it's going to grow only 2 inches. Now take that same particular koi fish and put it in a river, and it's going to grow 12 inches. The fish did not change. It was actually the environment which changed. And your leadership team is the koi fish. The talent is there, the capacity is there, the potential is there. But if the system constrains them, if the bowl is too small, if every decision has to flow through one particular person, and if nobody has the authority to act, then they will only ever perform at the level the system allows. The founder bottleneck is the bowl. It keeps your team small, not because they are small, because the environment has never allowed them to grow. And the impact diagnostic identifies the bowl. The workshop expands it into a river. And I promise you, the first time you see your leadership team operate at full capacity, making decisions, owning outcomes, moving at speed, you will wonder why you ever held that bowl so tight. So how do you know if you are the bottleneck? Here are 3 signs that I look for in every diagnostic that I do, and I've got the whole system, which is 15 gaps. And I want you to be honest with yourself as you listen to this. Sign 1, decision queue when you travel. If you come back from a week away and there is a pile of decisions waiting for your approval, it means the system is dependent on you. A healthy leadership operating system does not slow down when the CEO is absent. It actually accelerates because the team has the authority and the rhythm to keep moving. The second sign and signal, your inbox is the workflow management tool. If your team sends you questions, proposals, and approval requests via email as their primary way of getting things done, you're actually not a CEO. You're a human routing system. Every item in your inbox represents a decision that the system has failed to distribute. And here's the third signal. Your team's default answer to any challenge is, let me check with the boss. If you overheard your leadership team say that, how would you feel? Because I can tell you this, it is happening more than you think. Not because they are weak, it's because the system trained them to defer. They learned over time that acting without your approval carries risk, so they stop acting. If you recognize even one of these 3 signals, you have the founder bottleneck. And if you recognize all 3, it is the single most expensive gap in your business. The fix is not delegation. I want to be very clear about that. Delegation is the CEO saying, I will give you this task. The founder bottleneck is not solved by handing out tasks. It is solved by redesigning the system. And here's what I install. First, it's a decision rights framework. Every category of decisions in the business has a defined owner and a defined threshold. Below a certain level, the department head decides alone. Above it, they need one other C-suite agreement. Only the biggest decisions come to the full leadership team, and the CEO's involvement drops to less than 20% of all decisions. The second thing is escalation criteria. When should something come to the CEO? Not when someone is unsure, when it means specific defined criteria, cross-departmental impact, reputational risk, financial exposure above a set of threshold or precedent setting. Everything else stays with the leader closest to the issue. Third, visible accountability. Every decision, my dear friends, is recorded with an owner, a deadline, and a measurable outcome. A weekly tracking, monthly checkpoint. The CEO does not need to chase because the system tracks. The CEO does not need to approve because the system authorizes. The CEO is free to do what only they can do, which is think, lead, and build. And here's the thing, accountability is not about catching people, it is about freeing them, empowering them. And I recall a very successful CEO once told me that he wished he had a life like mine, and he was actually extremely wealthy. He ran a large manufacturing business and he had achieved, by most measures, everything that society considers success. But you know what? He was actually trapped in his own system, trapped in every decision, trapped in the belief that if he let go, it would all fall apart. What he needed was not more time management tips, not another productivity app, not a holiday either. He needed someone to look at the system he had built and show him that the system was the problem, not him, the system. And what I do is I fix the system, not the people. That is what I do. Now, if you suspect your business depends too much on you, you're probably right. And the good news is, it does not have to. And the thing is, the founder bottleneck is one of the 15 gaps that I personally identify inside leadership teams. It sits next to decision paralysis and meeting dysfunction in the governance architecture dimension. And here's something I want to share. Start with the CEO scorecard. It has a question designed specifically for this. Can your team make a strategic decision within 48 hours without you signing off? And if the honest answer is no, you know what gap you're looking at. The link is below. Or you could decide to take the Gap Unlock Questionnaire at vijay.com, which are 12 questions, 3 minutes. I personally review every response. I will also put the link below. Now here's the thing. I want you to consider building the system. Free yourself, free your time. Clarity first, impact fast. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.